Let's take a look at the chart action for Bitcoin. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. This is just my opinion, not a guarantee, not a promise or anything like that. This is just what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking. I've been watching this channel pattern, something like this. We had resistance, 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 support, support, support. I was waiting for a breakout to the upside or to the downside to get a better idea of what's going on. We broke to the upside, so in my opinion, this was a bullish signal, and I'm kind of looking at a target around maybe 53,800. I'm getting that target from dragging from the top to the bottom of this channel. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Something like this. Dragging this to the breakout, and this is where I get the target of around 53,650 right there. I've done it a couple times, and one of the times I got 53,800. This time it looks like 53,650. The other spots that I'm looking at before we can get to this target though are these previous resistances over here. We have resistance and resistance. Right now we're kind of sitting at this area right here. Let's go ahead and do some horizontal red lines. We have one right here, and then we have another one right here. These levels are sitting at 47,761 approximately, and the other one is sitting at 50,857. I think if we could break these red lines going to the upside, then I'm looking at this target up here at around 53,650 approximately. I do like the way that we broke this resistance going to the upside though. If we go ahead and zoom out, the other thing I was kind of watching is, if we go ahead and zoom out, the other thing I was kind of thinking is we had this little resistance area very similar to what we were just in right now. We were kind of bouncing in between those, like this resistance and this bottom kind of. We broke out of this resistance going to the upside. We came up to this area and got pushed down and had to retest this top line right here. We got a bounce right around this area and started to head back up. So what I'm thinking now is we might have to do something similar. From the bottom of this little run right here to where we are right now, or to maybe this target up here, let's just say from the bottom right here to where we are right now has already been around 26%. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had to see a pullback sometime, but I'm still kind of looking at these areas here because we broke out of this resistance. What I'm thinking though is we might come up, hit the targets that I'm looking at, and then get rejected and start to come back down and have to retest this trend line at around 45,000. This is just my speculation though, and for right now we are still trending up. We're getting some pretty decent volume. It is kind of declining, but it is still pretty green and it is pretty decent in my opinion. The other thing I'm kind of watching is we have support. This is on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and do a trend line going to the upside from these support levels. We have this uptrend like this. So as long as we're on this uptrend, I'm looking at these targets and it just seems like it's pretty good until we break this trend line going to the downside. Another thing that I wanted to check out was the moving average. I've been talking about this and we're looking at this on the date. Let's go switch to the weekly time frame. I've been watching this on my channel for a while now. I've been saying if we can stay above this weekly 9 moving average right here, we broke above it the week before last, and I was saying if we could close this candle above it and stay above it, this is going to be a good signal as well. We closed this candle this week right here, and then the next week we got a nice big green candle. We actually came down and retested it, got a bounce to the upside. This is what I was talking about when I was saying we broke this going to the downside, and when we broke it going to the downside, we were getting resistance on it. Every time we come into it, we get rejected going down. Right now, we got a bounce going to the upside. Hopefully we can keep this momentum, keep getting bounces on it and push to the upside. That's why I was saying we might have to come back down and retest, but for now I think it's looking pretty good. So I think the main things that I'm watching are these horizontal red lines. Let's see if we could break through those, and then I'll be looking at this target of around 53,650. Like I said, this is just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to support the channel, which would really help out, you guys should go to my Patreon and I take video requests over there. If you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one.